No, that's interesting because, I was an honors business student at the University of Texas, allowed me to do my MBA program in 1 year, and I was part of the pioneering entrepreneurship class, won the Moot Corp competition to represent the University of Texas in a model business plan competition globally. Ended up losing out to London School of Economics, but that's okay. I'll lose out to those guys. So I was on this path of entrepreneur. And again, I've always been an entrepreneur. I like to envision things and then create and bring them to fruition and then see them grow. I had done healthcare consulting for a number of years, and I had worked with some innovative pharmaceutical products, liquid ibuprofen and others, helping those companies get positioned and funded for success. But really, it's more of the out of the box thinking that has made me successful in this industry, at least initially. So I was called by a friend who I'd done some business with previously, and he had licensed or was going through the process of licensing a synthetic peptide from a pharmaceutical company in Boston. And this peptide achieved what scientists have been trying to do for 30 years, upregulating in tandem superoxide dismutase, catalase, and glutathione peroxidase, these catalytic antioxidant enzymes that are millions of times more powerful than exogenous antioxidants, pills, vitamin A, C. And so we were going down this path with a $1 million licensing fee, a 10% royalty, going through the process of trying to get it approved as a new dietary ingredient by the FDA. But at the same time, doing the due diligence to make sure there wasn't a bean that went through a meerkat in Madagascar that did the same thing, right? So I'm that guy, going through the literature, knowing what to look for. So what people don't understand here is, I was sensitized to what to look for because of the pharmaceutical synthetic compound. So I was looking for certain biological markers in the scientific record. And you have to understand, back then, you couldn't just go onto PubMed. 2002, 2003, you had to ply through reams and reams of unsearchable studies looking for notations of these various enzymes, none of them being studied, perhaps directly, but noting, hey, superoxide dismutase was elevated in the hypothalamic region, when this herbal extract was used for whatever real thing, so that the enzymes were kind of the secondary story, and so I was piecing all that together, and by the time the FDA said, "Gosh, you're lining up like 1,600 defense and repair genes. We know they're healthy, but you're gonna have to test all of those." And so we're thinking, "Gosh, that's 20 years, probably $20 billion to go through that process." But at the same time, I then tell my partners, "I think I got a natural alternative." And of course, they're looking at me like they're crazy. I mean, I'd worked with them in the past, so they know that I'm kind of this, again, out-of-the-box thinker. Hey, the pharmaceutical industry does it this way. We want to create something synthetic that we can patent and charge a high price for, but it's not because your body needs more of that synthetic. They're looking at modes of action. Whereas the dietary supplement industry was just that. How can we supplement? How can we get more of this into your body? How can we code it? Whatever. Not really looking at the specific triggering modes of action, but more in that direct supplementation. And I'm this guy in the middle that's like, well, why can't you use this to do it this way? And again, you got to understand, this is 21 years ago now. Things have changed. The nutraceutical industry does have a much more scientific, evidence-based approach to formulations than was apparent 21 years ago. And so, took that through preclinical testing, had that, flatline oxidative stress in an animal model, and then was very fortunate to have the Web Wiring Antioxidant Research Center, based here in Denver, and to then do the human trials, and then the rest, as they say, is history. So for the past 21 years, I've been very focused on always staying up to date on that science of not just that pathway to trigger antioxidant enzymes, but a lot of other cell signaling pathways where cells are talking to each other and causing this cascade response. And so for both my analytical and creative sides of my brain, bug bit, I'm all in. I'm constantly learning. I'm constantly creating. I'm constantly updating, and so I'm full in on the nutraceutical, biotech industry. I'm full in with the opportunities that are always evident there with increasing scientific understanding. But I'm also still all in and always being that out of the box thinker. So even now I'm part of the industry and not an outsider per se. I'm always looking for the means to do things differently, more safe, safer, more efficacious, and so I'm not going anywhere. I'm here to stay.